Next we're going to work on the bottom of the pants hem. When I cut out my pattern piece, I was doing it very quickly and roughly, and this might happen to you also. But as you can see here, there's actually a little bit of a difference between the front and the back. So when I'm doing the hem, I'm just going to kind of take the difference between those two. So the first fold that we're going to make is going to be at 5/8 of an inch. So if you don't have an iron, you take out your two or three trusty pins, whatever you can find. And the first fold that we're going to make is at 5/8 of an inch. So we still have the gauge from stitching. And so you're folding it at 5/8 of an inch. So I'm going to start at this end. And then I'm going to do 5/8 of an inch at the other end also. There we go. And then because this is uneven, I'm going to just kind of take the difference between, like that's 1/4 of an inch difference. So that means at 1/8 of an inch, I don't know, just eyeball it. It's going to be, see, that's a bit much. Kind of give it your best shot. Here's the center. So I think extra pins would help here if you have them, or you could just, fold it. So that's the first fold is at 5/8 of an inch, and then our second fold is going to be at 1 inch. So I'm folding it a second time, and here's my 1 inch. Oh, let me fold my piece of paper. So here's my 1 inch, and I'm going to fold it one more time. It's at 1 inch. So that's right here. So I'm going to take that one more pin. I'm going to fold that like so. And then I have this edge. Here's my 1 inch. I'm going to make sure that's here, like that. And I can reuse this pin. Like so. And then on this edge too, 1 inch. And again, the old eyeball is fine too. It's more important that you get these pants done than you get a perfect 1 inch hem. So this is, if you don't have an iron, you can pin this down. 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess 4 to 5 pins is ideal. So you have this pin down, and now you can slip stitch the hem into place. If you do have an iron, it gets a little bit more easy to deal with creating this hem. So a little spritz like this, and using my seam gauge, I'm going to press the 5/8 of an inch down. So I'll start at this edge. There's my 5/8 inch here. So I'm going to measure that out, and I'm going to continue that to here. And it looks like I have that same 1/4 of an inch differential on that side. So I'll start from this edge at 5/8 of an inch, and then here I'll just kind of guesstimate. Okay, and then spritzing again. I'm going to fold it one more time at 1 inch. So I have my 1 inch here, and this is 1 inch. Like that. And the same on this side. Here's my 1 inch. So if you press it, you can still pin it, but it's actually kind of set into place, and you don't necessarily need pins. If you've pressed this into place. This is the hem. So our next step is that we're going to slip stitch this hem on both the left and the right side of the legs. Here's a reminder on how to do the slip stitch. You did it in class, you should have it on your sampler, but I'm also going to email you this JPEG separately. It's called a slip stitch, but according to the Reader's Digest Guide to Sewing, it's also called a vertical hemming stitch. So basically, on the pretty side of the fabric, you're going to have a tiny pick, and then on the wrong side of the fabric, you're going to have this little vertical stitch. So look at the sample that you made at the beginning of the semester, and then also refer to this same image, which I will send to you as a JPEG. I always start off on the right side of the fabric. If you're left-handed, you would start off on the left side of your fabric piece. But since I'm right-handed, I'll be doing it this way. You stitch in from the back to the front of your hem flap, and then you pick a tiny bit on the pant leg, and then you travel that thread under the hem flap, like a quarter of an inch. You pull that through, and then again you take a tiny little pick only through the pant leg, the pant fabric. You travel that a quarter of an inch, and then you only stitch it through the hem flap. So you just do that over and over again. Don't do it too tight, or else you'll bunch up the fabric, and don't do it too loose, because then your big toe will get stuck in it when you put the pants on. So I've started it here like that, and then this is what the other side looks like. They're pretty tiny, so you can refer to the sample that you made at the beginning of this. And I just would like to recommend that speed is of the essence. So don't worry about making this hem too perfect, because again, it's they say in theater, done is beautiful. So do the best you can, but our goal is to get half the pajama pants finished by this class, or by the end of the week. So you can just go as fast and as accurate as you can. I would say speed is 60% and accuracy is 40%. So you see how fast I'm doing this? It's because nobody likes to hem things. So I have both of my hems completed at the bottom, and of course I'm using this dark brown thread so I can demonstrate to you, so you can see my seam lines better. But this is what it looks like on the other side. It's a little bit, you know, big brown dots. But I have some decorative plans for my pajama pants for later. But anyway, it should about look like this, and if you have thread that matches more than mine, it should be hidden in the fabric.